cross Douglas Hall off their list of living choices next semester. We'll look at the threat of civil war through an NIU Ukrainian student's eyes. And one local farmer is getting back to basics, way back. NTC News Tonight starts now.
You're watching NTC News, DeKalb County's only television news source, on the campus of Northern Illinois University and from the Northern Television Center. This is NTC News Tonight.
Students will have one less building to choose from when it comes to living on campus next semester with Douglas Hall closing. Good evening, I'm Trey Ward. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Ericka Burgess. NTC reporter Ericka Exton has more on the future of the building that many students are sad to see go.
Campus remodeling is on the rise here at NIU, and now sights have been set on Douglas Hall. The Residence Hall was built in 1963 and is one of the oldest on campus, but now with focus being placed on bringing students closer to the center of campus, Douglas is no longer needed.
So if you want people to mingle and to join each other in conversation and recreation and so forth, you want to get them to the center. And so part of what we're doing with Lucinda is to make that passage from the west side of the campus to the center of the campus by King Common.
The idea of student togetherness is a part of President Baker's Bold Ideas for the Futures plan, and at the moment, Douglas stands in the way of that plan. Part of NIU's Bold Ideas for the Futures project includes extending Lucinda, and as you can see, it is a very busy street. But unfortunately, that means dear old Douglas will have to be torn down. Another reason for tearing down Douglas is the lack of residents living there, and inside, the building is old with asbestos and even holes in the ceiling.
Not air conditioned or sprinklered, and their layouts are not what people are looking for these days. Pretty cramped quarters, common bathrooms, as you know. No elevators. To have remodeled them would be about as costly per square foot as building new if we were looking to build new, but we're not.
However, regardless of its downfall, some students feel an attachment to Douglas and would prefer if it stayed.
I'm going to miss this place because I've been working here, so I understand that the president wants to, implement all of his big plans and everything, so it's all right.
A farewell ceremony will be held on April 27th for Douglas residents and alumni who want to say goodbye to a campus classic. From DeKalb, this is Ericka Exton, NTC News.
Wow, 51 years of memories. Just think if those walls could talk. A building that old definitely deserves a final farewell.
Douglas Hall is set to be demolished this summer, and construction to extend Lucinda will begin shortly after and is scheduled to be completed by mid-November.
One bridge located on Keslinger Road isn't being torn down after a collapse, but repaired instead. After nearly 6 years, the collapsed bridge on Keslinger Road is finally set to be repaired. The construction will begin this fall and should conclude by the end of the year. It's been disputed who should be responsible for funding the repairs of the bridge. This finally came to an end last week when the county agreed to replace the bridge using a $900,000 legal settlement from a Crystal Lake trucking company. The bridge collapsed in 2008 when their overweight trucks crossed over the bridge.
NIU students and DeKalb residents can look forward to a new hangout spot coming later this year. Mason Properties wants to bring new entertainment to the former Sullivan's Food location on South 4th Street. One portion of the building will become a 24-hour laundromat with about 120 dryers and 100 washing machines. The other portion of the building will be a 12,000 square foot bowling alley with 13 lanes. Owner Jim Mason says he has plans to add a restaurant, meeting and party rooms, gambling machines, and arcade games in the bowling alley. Mason says construction isn't expected to begin for another 8 weeks.
DeKalb police are asking for all of your unwanted prescription drugs for National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day this Saturday morning. This weekend, the department is accepting unwanted prescription drugs anonymously from residents. This event provides a safe way to dispose of prescription drugs. It can also help clean up the water supply. Flushing pills down toilets and sinks contaminates the water supply, which police are trying to avoid. The event will be this Saturday at the DeKalb Police Station from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Tensions continue to run high in Ukraine, and there's no sign of pro-Russian supporters backing down.
And the crisis directly affects at least one NIU student here on campus. Tudela gives us a look inside the life of a Ukrainian student.
A country divided between two different forms of government. For one NIU student, the turmoil over 5,000 miles away hits home all too well.
Well, the hardest part was when the war started, when 60 people were killed in basically in a couple of hours.
Max displays his Ukrainian flags and cards from his friends in his hometown just a few hundred miles outside of Kiev to keep them in his thoughts. He also checks his computer daily to keep up to date with what is happening in Ukraine.
And our city, thankfully, was probably one of the quietest. Nothing really happened there, so I would be just with my parents supporting them. So it's not I don't feel like it's a big difference for me being here, being there.
It all started when President Viktor Yanukovych rejected an accord with the European Union. Arguments raged in the country as gunmen overtook government buildings and Russian military has begun to become involved.
Overall, the government was somewhat pro-Russian. That's why they didn't sign the European Union agreement in the first place.
For most NIU students, they get to drive home to see their family and loved ones. But for Max, his only way home is his computer screen if he's lucky. Other than that, it's just his cell phone.
Skype is his go-to form of communication with his parents, but on some days, he can only have telephone conversations.
I've been talking to my parents every day pretty much, and they say something, I read something. The main topic that everyone was talking at that point was just to stop it, stop killing.
Right now, Max isn't sure when he'll get to go see his parents again, but he continues to stay in touch and stay positive. Reporting from DeKalb, Tudela, NTC News.
We'll have more on the ongoing crisis in Ukraine in a bit.
The annual Kites Over Sycamore event proves that flying kites isn't just for little kids anymore. This small flower shop, Car-Free Flowers, hosts Kites Over Sycamore every year on the Saturday before Easter for high-flying fun for all ages. Kids can come to the kite building workshop and build and color their very own kite to fly. Although this event isn't just for children, as adults have found their inner child and also enjoy painting the sky.
The really fun stuff is the stunt kites, and then of course if you've heard of kite surfing, that's a blast. But this is just kind of a leisurely way to enjoy being out in the day.
One local farmer's passion for organic foods has turned into a way of life.
And she's eager to share her lifestyle with others. Inside the 815 reporter Sabrina Bennett has more on the farm that's anything but typical.
It's maple syrup tapping season for one Kirkland area farmer, and that means for the next 4 to 8 weeks, these sugar maple trees will produce around 9 to 13 gallons of sap each. The sap is then collected in bags and then cooked to eventually become syrup. And Debbie Rock, owner of Rock Farms, has her own opinion on the benefits of natural foods.
It is the tree's lifeblood. So it feeds the tree, it feeds you. Our food should be our medicine. Our medicine should be our food.
But maple syrup won't be the only thing that's on her plate today. Every morning, Debbie wakes up to another day of feeding and grooming her many animals.
And he weighs in about 70, 80 pounds right now, so he is a force.
Today, organic turkeys, mallards, and a variety of chickens are just a few of the animals raised at Rock Farms. This may look like hard work to the average person, but for Debbie, it's her passion. In 2008, Debbie left her corporate job to go after a long-time dream of owning and operating her very own organic farm.
I came out here to where I get dirt under my fingernails, gave away all my silk suits and my high heels, and I just have fun with my animals.
She originally bought 2 goats in an effort to produce her own organic milk and yogurt.
100% Pygora 3-ply yarns.
Debbie quickly realized that what started off as a hobby could make her a profit.
This is Pygora cashmere.
But now it's that special time of year when winter winds down and spring is around the corner that Debbie gets to taste the sweet fruits of her labor. This is sap from Debbie's maple trees, which is full of nutrients, which will eventually be turned into 100% natural maple syrup. That's
Cheers.
good. Cheers. It takes more than 40 gallons of this sweet stuff to make 1 gallon of her all-natural maple syrup. But Debbie hasn't limited herself to only organic food products. Today, she puts her focus towards producing all-natural soaps and natural fibers, sheared from her very own animals on her farm. Some of the most sought-after fibers come from the hair of the very animals that Debbie loves so much, including those of Pygora goats, alpacas, and English Angora rabbits. She uses the fibers for one of her favorite pastimes, spinning her very own natural yarn. From career woman in the business world to simple life on the farm, Debbie Rock has come full circle. In Kingston, Sabrina Bennett, NTC News.
Debbie Rock teaches what she calls life skills classes that show others how to live a similar way of life.
We'll be talking with Debbie in a bit to find out more on what it takes to own and operate a self-sustaining farm.
Well, the animals at Rock Farms would sure be loving this weather, would you think, Brittany?
Oh yeah, definitely.
We have Brittany Merlot here to talk about what's to expect this week in the weather.
Well, this week is going to be definitely what we call spring weather. We're going to see the nice warm temperatures remain, but we're going to see a lot of showers coming up. Well, let's take a look at tomorrow because that's going to be an awesome day. We're going to see temperatures in the upper 50s to lower 60s. It's going to be beautiful, sunny skies. It's going to be nice. Definitely get out and enjoy your day tomorrow. We're going to also see some gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Overall, it's going to be a very nice day. But how long are these clear skies going to stick around? Stay tuned. You're watching NTC Tonight.
Can you concern with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now.
No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite,
Unearth hidden passion.
Come on, we'll have a good time.
Plant seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic.
To change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall.
Can make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first little thing that helps to change a life.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Welcome back, everyone. Wow, this weekend was absolutely amazing. Easter was perfect. Nice high temperatures, sunny, beautiful skies. But look at this. Monday, we woke up to this overcast sky, which soon pushed away to rain. And today we did see a high of 74 degrees, which is great. Look at that. It's above our normal record temperatures for this time of year, which is awesome. We've been looking for these high temperatures for a long time now. Even our low of 43 degrees is above our normal. I remember when that low, we were excited as a high a few months ago. But here's what's going on today, why we have these showers. We have this warm, moist air from the south pushing up here to the Midwest. They're seeing storms down south and even rain up here to the north. As you can see, it's already happening right now. It's going to continue through the night. but it will stop late tonight, early tomorrow morning in those hours. This low is going to push off to the east, and we're going to remain in a high pressure area. What that means for us is beautiful sunny skies. High pressures are awesome, definitely. We're going to have beautiful sunny skies and everything for Tuesday and on into Wednesday, but Wednesday night and Thursday for sure. This is what's going to push into our area. We're going to have rain, severe threat down south, but we're definitely going to have rain all over our area mixed in with storms. So tonight, showers, they're going to hopefully end before 7 o'clock, and then we're going to be left with mostly cloudy skies with a low of 43 degrees. Tomorrow, beautiful outside again, beautiful skies, clear, high of 57. It's not as high as we're used to this past weekend, but it'll be beautiful. Gusts will be up to 25 miles per hour. Hey, maybe go fly a kite. It looked awesome. Those kites are pretty cool. Now as we move into tomorrow night, mostly clear again. Now one thing I do want to point out is it's probably going to be our last clear night this week. So definitely get out and enjoy it. Have a campfire. It's going to be a low of 34 degrees. You're going to want that fire to warm you up. Nice calm winds after midnight. And as I look at my 5-day forecast, Tuesday, Wednesday, sunny, beautiful skies, high of 57. This is where that storm's going to push into our area. We're going to have rain possibly Wednesday night, 30% chance of rain Wednesday night, and then Thursday, the storm is going to be here for sure. We have possibility for lightning, thunder, all of that. As we move into Friday, the system will push out of our way. We're going to have nice sunny skies left with a high of 62 degrees on Friday. Get outside and enjoy your weekend. It'll drop down to 54 Saturday, but there is rain in our forecast for Sunday, Monday, so enjoy your weekend. And that's it for weather. Let's send it back to the desk.
Coming up, we learn more about rock farms and what it takes to run a farm of that size.
Wake the sun, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
Rock Farms is a local farm in Kingston that is taking a modern-day approach to traditional farming.
Debbie Rock joins us today to talk more about her farm and the different products that are made there. Hello, Debbie. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Trey. Hi, Ericka.
Hi. So, Debbie, you are not your typical farmer. What made you want to leave your old life and go and start this farm?
I've always been not typical and loved animals and the outside. And even though I was in nursing management and had the big desk and the secretary and everything, I was suffocating. We've come to the point where we live in a gray cubicle sort of existence and we lose our souls. We have no connection to creation anymore. So I wanted to get back and create some things. And the way I've done it, agriculture and art are joined with education.
So speaking of creating things, tell us, what did you bring to the studio today?
Well, fiber is my focus, and that includes wool, which is normally what you call fiber from sheep, alpacas, rabbits, and I do my own silkworms. So my Earth Day necklace is wool. My little Nomi guy here is totally wool. There's no, it's just felted. There are some pipe cleaners in his arms, but totally created there. My 88-year-old mother-in-law teaches pottery at my school. And these are my first firings, some pieces that I made. Some of my yarn, real wool. Good wool is not scratchy. And that's what I raise, really good wool. And I make soaps of totally natural. The scent of this is lang lang. It's a tropical flower. It's not chemicals, it's truly from the flower. And it's just really good for you if you'd like to take a sniff.
So can you tie all this into your life skill classes? What are those also that you teach?
Okay. As I was changing my life and noticing other people and their ways of life that weren't exactly in harmony with nature, I thought, why not share what I've come to know and teach other people? Like I said, we teach pottery, pretty much anything your ancestors really needed to know to survive, we can help you learn. I make my own probiotic ginger ale that's actually pretty good, and it's also good for you. Squeeze apple cider from my apples, and teach other people how to do these things. Make soap that really feels good on your skin and is good for you. Anything you put on your skin in 26 seconds average is in your bloodstream.
So how did you get your love for fibers? It's beautiful things.
I don't exactly know how, you know, it's just something that I've always loved animals since I was very tiny. And fiber is a product that comes from animals that is actually useful.
How do you manage your time and tend to all these animals that you have?
Well, I thought this morning was going to be a typical morning, and I got ready to bottle feed my baby goats and to milk my milkers, and came out and I had another doe in labor and have a new baby goat this morning, and there's just, you know, one never knows what's around the next corner.
So what does the future hold for Rock Farms?
Hopefully extending my knowledge, sharing with others, helping them to live their best lives, and thoroughly enjoying the life I live with dirt under my fingernails.
Well, thank you for joining us and sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.
If you would like to find out more information about Debbie's products or the life skills classes, you can visit her website at rock-farms.com.
A teenager made it alive through an unbelievable flight.
And the Ukraine crisis continues. Here's what's happening in today's World Watch.
The number of dead in that ferry disaster off the South Korean coast is now 64. Divers continue to recover more bodies. They have had difficulty entering the ferry because of low visibility, bad weather, and strong currents. About 240 people, many of them high school students, are still missing. The boat's captain and 2 other crew members were arrested for negligence.
3 people have been killed at a pro-Russia checkpoint near the eastern Ukrainian city of Salvyansk. Pro-Russia leaders in control of the city have ordered a curfew. The shooting is the second deadly incident in the last 4 days in eastern Ukraine. On Wednesday night, 3 people were killed during a demonstration outside a Ukrainian military base.
There is still no trace of missing Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. A crew from New Zealand is among those looking for any signs of it. A submersible has been deployed for its 9th journey deep into the southern Indian Ocean. Officials say up to 10 military aircraft and 11 ships are scouring for traces of the aircraft.
Did he or didn't he? Some experts are questioning the story of a teenager who may have hitched a ride home from California to Hawaii in the landing gear wheel well of a Boeing 767. Crews noticed the 16-year-old wandering the tarmac at the airport in Maui. They say he was dazed and confused. He claimed to have hitched a ride from San Jose. And that's today's World Watch.
Hockey and basketball seasons have reached their playoffs. I'm David Huffman for NTC Sports. Unfortunately for the city of Chicago, it hasn't got off to the start many had hoped. The Bulls, coming off a 48-win campaign, played the Wizards at the United Center in Game 1 of the NBA playoffs. The Wizards started off hot in the first quarter as Ane hits the jump shot pick and roll, Nene, jump shot, bang. The Bulls would cool off with a little help from Taj Gibson as he puts back this emotional putback dunk in the second quarter. In the third quarter, the Bulls would continue to surge against the Wizards. And Kirk Hine would help with the reverse layup off the dribble. Unfortunately, in the fourth quarter, Marcin Gortat would give the Wizards the lead on the putback, a lead the Wizards would not surrender as they take Game 1 of the best-of-7 series. A big congrats goes out to Joakim Noah as he was voted Defensive Player of the Year. He joins the great Michael Jordan as the only other Bull to win the award. Also, the Portland Trailblazers and Houston Rockets started their 7-game series last night. LaMarcus Aldridge and James Harden prepare to do battle. As we move on to later action with 4 seconds left in the game, Wes Matthews puts up a shot, and LaMarcus Aldridge gets his mitt and puts the ball in to send it into overtime. Damian Lillard ties the game up at 118 in overtime with 5 seconds left. James Harden hits the step-back shot. He's unable to make it, and the rebound goes to the Portland as they take Game 1 of the 7-game series. LaMarcus Aldridge and Damian Lillard became the first set of teammates to score 45 and 30 respectively. Since you guessed it, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen did it in '92. If the Blackhawks are looking to get back into the series with the St. Louis Blues, they'll have to do without star defenseman Brent Seabrook. Brent Seabrook will be suspended for 3 games for this nasty hit on David Backes. The NHL determined that Seabrook had enough time to avoid the check, but instead delivered a violent hit that caused Backes to crash into the boards. That's it for sports. Back to the desk. Ericka and Trey will tell you what is coming up next.
Coming up, Sycamore Speedway is gearing up for their opening night, and one racer tells us how local tracks are the starting line for local race stars.
I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
You don't have to go to Talladega to experience racetrack excitement.
One local raceway is holding their own when it comes to the dirt track racing. Sycamore Speedway started out the season this past weekend with a practice session. Drivers and their race teams shifted in high gear to get their cars ready for race day. Fans came out to watch the cars rally and see who might be a good driver to root for this season. For some fans, teams, and drivers, local dirt tracks are the place to be.
The little local tracks, I mean, that's the bread and butter of the whole country. I mean, there's like 70 million people going to these small tracks every year to go and watch their local heroes, go and have fun. So.
Seriously, that looks like a lot of fun, but it seems like it would be really loud.
Yeah, definitely bring your earplugs. The official season opening begins next Saturday.
NTC News Tonight is produced and directed by students here at Northern Illinois University. Thanks for watching.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll be back at the same time on Wednesday. Goodbye, everyone.